860 AM 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. And Mr. Rod Out, it would be Friday for me. For me.
But then y'all just talk about me when I was talking about this second Monday.
Are you?
And is it
Are you
really
crying?
Monday? Yeah, I'm crying. We got to be even around here, man.
Are you? You need some tissue? I mean, what's happening right now?
My Friday. So you telling me today Friday? I told you I was confused. You didn't believe me. So how do we know that today is really what they say it is? Because you said it's Friday, and I thought it was Thursday. Ain't no telling what Debo think it is, but how do we really know what it is?
Whatever you think it is, Debo doesn't think that.
I think it's just another day that the Lord have kept me.
Oh, just another day.
Woke me up this morning and started me on my way.
That the Lord
have kept me.
Have kept me. Woo!
You know, I just wish y'all would get a show.
He kept me.
I wish y'all would get a show. I wish y'all would get. Y'all could be right on with Sherry and do a show.
Oh Lord, stay on. This is my early morning.
Just another day.
Morning. Amen.
That
early
the Lord
morning, service
have kept me.
Some of the folks at their house singing right with y'all.
Just
rocking.
It sure is.
Rocking back and
It sure
forth.
is. That's an old hymn right there, boy.
Rocking.
That's Lord. Somebody gonna be singing it all day.
Oh Lord. That's an old down south slave singing right there.
Slave.
Not just slave, runaway slave.
Whoa!
The difference between happiness donor said, "Thank you, God. Thank you, God."
Just another day you have kept me.
Look at Michelle's face.
Yeah.
And then look at Jermaine.
I'm just waiting.
Just another
She's
day.
just watching TV.
Let the Lord. Gotta hold that note. Has kept me.
You know what? I wish he would keep you.
Woo!
Just
Felt
refrain.
that thing was bubbling in my soul.
I know it was.
I wish he would keep you.
That ain't the only thing with broken.
Especially this morning.
I wish that the Lord would keep you, Jermaine.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna move past you. Hey, Debo, how you doing this morning?
I'm great.
I mean, sung the whole song. He said, "Oh, you ain't getting to talk."
They chimed in on the chat. Happiness Donor said, "Thank you, God." Cynthia Stokes Murphy said, "Yes, the Lord have kept me." Happiness Donor said, "Felt that thing."
Damn, I'm telling you that
Ebony Sally said, "Won't he do it?"
But did he?
Devotional.
Don't he? Won't he? Do it, won't he?
Exactly.
I felt that thing in my soul.
Michelle, we are fine this morning. Me and my entire family. Thank you so much for asking.
Oh,
We are fine.
Well, when you ask, listen. I can't be good if my family ain't good.
How come y'all don't do this with Keith? Why y'all
How
ain't
can I
taking a
be good
watch
Because you got
if my
the
wife
Lord
ain't good? How can
Why
I be
y'all do it
good?
with
Hey, shave my tape.
If my children aren't good, how can I be good? If my coworkers aren't good, how can I be good? So as far as I know this morning, I am good. We are good. Thank you so much for asking.
Hey,
Keep going to church on you. Good thing he ain't got no organ over there.
That's my old pastor.
You get on my nerves.
We got to bring the keyboard next Thursday.
Y'all getting on my nerves. Y'all getting on my nerves.
On the church
You
next
made me
Thursday.
actually say, "Shut your mouth." On the
About the same difference as hang up that damn phone.
His eyes is closed.
I felt that thing. I'm feeling this thing.
Jermaine.
Oh,
Jermaine.
Oh. I was having devotion all by myself. She said, Jermaine.
Wake yo. Oh my God.
Oh, that Lord's been good to me.
You know, it's gonna be
Barbara Smith, Michelle said, "Yes, indeed. Miss Michelle Bryant, you better believe those true mothers of the church done hollered out.
I'm telling you.
Ah, glory.
Oh, Sheba. Oh, Lord. Just another day.
Jermaine.
She finna throw something at you, man.
I can't help it. The Lord has been took to me, and I
you know what?
tell it all.
Don't start it. Don't start it. You
Ooh.
done used up a whole damn 10 minutes of
I
this.
did too. But I was giving devotion to the
Jermaine.
Just another day.
They chiming in, Michelle.
I know they are.
But it's another
two or
day.
three
I
are
know they
gathered
are.
in his name.
Oh Lord.
Well, the Lord is good, Annette Dean said.
I am so sick of y'all. I don't know what to do.
Al Walters just says, see?
See what? See what, Al? See what?
Oh, taste and see that the Lord is.
I am
Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good.
I'm gonna pay y'all back for this moment right here.
Shell, you
I'm coming.
Your hands right now.
I'm coming on the stage at both of y'all shows and gonna just get on the mic.
I didn't do
while
anything.
y'all start singing.
Hey,
I swear to God, I'm coming.
And you better preach.
I'm coming. No, I'm not preaching.
Oh,
I'm coming to sing. I'm gonna get right on the mic.
What did I do, Michelle?
Once, twice.
Y'all gonna be looking
Three
up like,
I
promise. The church of what's happening now. You are absolutely right, Chandra. Just
thank you.
What did Chandra have?
Let me. You already know she done talked about you. Let me go to the phone line. I'm so
Cynthia
sick of y'all.
Stokes Murray said he's good.
Oh, all the time.
And then this is the bad part. I can't just go off because it's church stuff.
That's it.
So but go ahead. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, Michelle. Hey, this is your BSU brother. Can you dig it?
Yeah.
I can dig it.
I can dig it, bro.
Yeah. Hey, well, dig this here. I'm on my way to work, right?
Right.
And Michelle, I feel like
yes, sir.
I feel like having church.
Yes, sir. Hey. Yes, sir. I feel like having church.
That's right out.
Yes, sir.
I love you, Michelle.
I love you too. You know, I mean, you can't even fight back. It's so unfair.
Oh, it's contagious.
You know, it ain't contagious. It's just,
so contagious.
Okay, I have been dipped.
They should never give a preacher a mic.
Dipped and baptized this morning. Messing with y'all.
Take me to the water. Take me to the water. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't help it, Shell. It's bubbling in my soul. Lift your hands right now, Shell. I need you to feel what I'm feeling.
I mean, y'all got a whole pastor that be on after me.
Yeah. See, but
all over there is sports.
See, but you know, Keith
and the occasional.
Keith is Baptist. So he don't tune up like you tune. You got the anointing. You got that fire. You know, somebody make you mad. You tell them, hang up. Woo! Let it wake up the church right there.
I am moving on. To everyone at home, this concludes service. And we're going to open the doors and step out.
Debo on the moaning bench.
I hear into the real world. And
touch
deal with some of the calamity that y'all need to pray for.
Touch him, Jesus. He's on his knees, Lord, praying, Lord, early this morning. Touch him, Jesus.
No, Chandra, we are not taking them off. Chandra, tell my y'all taking them off. No.
He on the moaning.
We not taking them off.
Michelle just talking.
Lady D said, the doors of the church are open.
Y'all done?
Talk to me.
Can I start?
Please do. Please do.
Okay. I don't even know what I want to talk about now. So since we, have gotten what we need by inspiration
from the Lord,
just what I wanted from the Lord,
we have to now use that strength, that power, to go out into, the secular world, to deal with some of the things that we see in front of us. So this morning, I would like to first address what is on the hearts and minds of many. And I'm going to do local and national news. So it's a lot of local stuff that's happening. So bear with me, hang in there. But I'm not going to put off the Jimmy Kimmel conversation. Because if it did not send a shockwave through you, we got more to be praying about than we possibly understand. So there's a man by the name of Brendan Carr. He currently is the chair of the FCC, the Federal Communications Corporation. And Brendan Carr made some comments um, that preceded what we now have seen in terms of ABC pulling Jimmy Kimmel's show off the air. So the FCC chairman was on Fox News with Sean Hannity, talking about why Jimmy Kimmel's show was pulled from the air, using the weight of the FCC. Carr basically talked about that late night talk show hosts have been, I'm going to paraphrase, have become too political in nature, and that the American people don't want to hear that. And so, to protect the American people, they were beginning to target and pay attention to what folks in the media, in these communication outlets, are saying. And Jimmy Kimmel, who makes a comment about Charlie Kirk's passing and the fact that, people are basically trying to rewrite the narrative of who this guy was, in terms of the young man who killed Charlie Kirk. People are also trying to rewrite the narrative of who Kirk was, but in those critical hours when they were trying to figure out who was the shooter, people wanted to paint an image of a left-leaning, meaning Democratic, progressive individual who was out to, exact their own form of hatred on somebody that was a conservative and a Republican and a Christian. But once the shooter was caught, he did not fit that profile. And so then they had to switch up how they wanted to talk about this thing. But whether or not we pay attention to the drafters of Project 2025, we pay attention to the rhetoric that has been espoused by Charlie Kirk's own organization, Turning Point, some of these conservative faith leaders. There are people that are hell-bent on getting control of this country. And we now see a system in which Donald Trump has been able to, with the help of Mitch McConnell and senators, United States senators, that on the Republican side of the aisle, cheat, 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 to be able to stack the Supreme Court with ideologues that are willing to carry Trump's water and strip away and reinterpret the Constitution and strip away rights that had been fought for since the Constitution, was implemented, attacking amendments, going after stuff like the 65 Voting Rights Act. So Trump basically has control of the government, because think about it. His people now dominate 6-3 on the Supreme Court. He has control of Congress, and they are openly cheating to ensure that fair elections cannot happen in certain states so that they can maintain the physical number of seats that they need to stay in power and have a majority in the House of Representatives. So when we talk about Jasmine Crockett being a vocal critic of Trump, and Trump calls, and everybody knows that the conversation took place, he calls Governor Abbott down in Texas and says, hey, I need you to get me some additional congressional seats so that I can execute my agenda unencumbered. And I need you to push some of these Democrats out of office. And while you at it, and I don't know that this part got said, but it's mighty convenient, let's do something about Jasmine Crockett. And so when they redraw these maps in Texas, they draw Jasmine Crockett out of her district. So it's the equivalent of me being a state representative, and my house is right here on 20th and Capitol. For the people that don't like what I say, on the show, and they have the ability to draw the maps, they draw the line so that now my district starts across the street at the Family Dollar on 20th and Capitol. So all these years, I've lived in the district. But with just the swipe of a pen and redistricting maps, I no longer am eligible to run for Congress because they shifted the district across the street. So they got control of Congress. They got control of the Department of Justice, which is supposed to be, even though the president makes these appointments in terms of who runs DOJ, it's supposed to be independent. They got control of law enforcement in terms of Kash Patel, the FBI. They got control of the Department of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Stop down, idiot, and incompetent and unqualified. Stop down. Kash Patel, so freaking disrespectful in the congressional committee hearings that have been held that I thought Cory Booker was getting ready to jump off that Diaz out of his seat and have a conversation outside. When he literally tells Cory Booker, you are there to testify before a committee of United States Senate members, and you tell a sitting senator that your time is up and to be quiet. That's how he handled Cory Booker. And I was waiting for the whole New Jersey to come out in that hearing. So when people talk about something's happened and where do we go, like we're talking about this young man that was found hanging in a tree in Mississippi, and people are like, okay, so normally the federal government would come in and like, let's take a look at what's going on down here just to make sure nothing is happening. We don't have a Department of Justice that's interested in the protection of rights of everybody anymore. They are interested in the protection and seeking out any acts that may discriminate against white males, white Christians, white people that are not Democratic, party members. They are there to protect a certain swath of America. Do y'all, and I know you do, but do we understand the moment we are in? The leaning on faith is going to be important. But then taking whatever strength you garner from your faith and finding the fortitude and the courage to stand up and fight back, in terms of using every legal lever that we have to stop these people from trampling on our rights and basic freedoms. We're going to have to do it. Jimmy Kimmel did not say anything that rose to the level of my show needs to be suspended. But because of money, the parent company that owns Kimmel Show and has the right to make these decisions, they are in the middle of a negotiation to acquire another media outlet. And the FCC and Trump administration, they got to sign off on this. So just like when Joy Reid was let go from MSNBC because there was being pressure applied about, the liberal leaning station and what was being said and the criticisms of Trump, and Trump being very vocal and going after a lot of these late night and cable outlet, talkers. They also had deals in the works. But when Brendan Carr literally tells people he will use the FCC to threaten, bully media outlets into not either criticizing the Trump administration, and this is all paraphrase, but you're not going to say things that we don't like, and we will use the full weight of the FCC to come for you. Understand that that's exactly what's happening. And so even as I sit here on this radio station, we provide a report every quarter that outlines, that we've done our due diligence in terms of talking about issues that benefit the community. But if Brendan Carr decides that I don't like what Michelle Bryant is saying over at NOV, there is nothing to stop these people other than a lawsuit from using the weight of the FCC to shut down dissenting voices. People have talked about they are running the government like a group of gangsters. Fake gangsters, not real gangsters, because they ain't got the heart to be real gangsters. Keon used to call them paper bosses. But that's how they are running it. So Charlie Kirk was entitled to all the free speech that he could have dreamed of. But nobody else is free to have an opinion, even a nasty opinion, a disagreeable opinion. Nobody else has that right. And there is a growing list that has been created of all the different people that have lost their jobs as a result of saying something that conservatives, acolytes of Donald Trump do not like that have been said. So when Jimmy Kimmel gets fired, Donald Trump takes to social media and he says, quote, "Great news for America. The ratings challenged Jimmy Kimmel Show is, in bold letters, canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than Colbert, if that's possible." Now, mind you, Stephen Colbert had the #1 rated show in late night time slots. That leaves Jimmy, talking about Jimmy Fallon, and Seth Meyers. Two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. President DJT. So the president of the United States uses his platform, A, to diminish and disrespect other people. They're losers. They're horrible. I mean, you get to say whatever derogatory, defamatory, opinionated nonsense you want to say. But then y'all run up the American flag and want to wrap it around the casket of Charlie Kirk, because somehow he's protected from anything that anybody might have to say that's negative about him. Do we appreciate this moment that we are in? I got to take a break, y'all. But when I come back, there are a couple of different ways I want to look at this real quick before I move on to some other stories. But when I say this should send a chill, because I remember when all these late night hosts went to go support Stephen Colbert when he got fired, and they showed that photo of all of them sitting there. They literally all had targets on their backs, though. And the targets are coming from the president of the United States, the people that are using him as a puppet to spew their hatred and their desire to control what people do in this country. And these people represent a small aspect of this nation. But because of their money, they have outsized power and influence over what happens. But don't ever, ever get it twisted as we go to break. When the people rise up, when the sleeping giant is awakened and they begin to fight back, all the money and the power in the world cannot stop the people when they decide, now, damn it, I've had enough. I've had enough. So let me take a break, y'all. I'll be back in just a moment. Taking a minute to talk about the implications of yet another media personality and a voice um, being run out of public view, who had a opinion that was in stark contrast to the administration and the minions that are helping oversee the government right now. Before I go to the phone line, I talked about Project 2025, and that people who took the time to read Project 2025, they had already begun writing columns and articles and, talking about what the implications look like. So here is something that comes directly from Project 2025. Now, this is before Donald Trump gets into office. This is what the plan that was written for him by extremists, many who hold racist views and opinions, had to say. Quote, one of their goals to stop public funding of public broadcasting is good policy and good politics. The reason is simple. President Lyndon Johnson may have pledged in 1967 that public broadcasting would become a vital public resource to enrich our homes, educate our families, and to provide assistance to our classrooms. But public broadcasting immediately became a liberal forum for public affairs and journalism. In 1974, not even a decade after the passage of the Public Broadcasting Act, President Richard Nixon was forced to resign from office in disgrace after the two young Washington Post reporters discovered the president was trying to steal an election. I always like to remind people, but it was a black man that was a security guard that realized that something was amiss, opened some doors, doing his rounds, made some checks, and everything blows up from this brother and his initial impression that something was awry. But it wasn't just their steady stream of increasing damaging scoops that resulted in the Nixon impeachment, followed by his resignation. It was the fact that the vast majority of Americans who followed these stories did not think to dismiss them as fake news, and no one ever had heard of, quote, alternative facts. The nation, which is now largely incensed by what Nixon had tried to do, subsequent televised Watergate hearings became the primary relied upon source of information for tens of thousands of Americans and the details of their country. So the idea that you have a spotlight that was being shown by all of these different media outlets, and it's not like when Carr says, I got to protect Americans. Americans can choose from any number of outlets and stations. You can go sit on Fox all day and hear exactly what you want to hear. You can go to MSNBC, and you used to be able to hear exactly what you wanted to hear over there. They're editing and controlling, I think, a lot of content on MSNBC now. But there are no lack of places for Americans with different beliefs and values to go and be fed what it is that they want to hear. So this is nonsense. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing us to release this morning. Hallelujah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My question is in regard to the outrage. Do you think it's because everybody is still working and have housing, like there's not a home crisis? It's why people are being so quiet. You got PBS that's about to be off the air, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. The Me Too movement, or the people that, were, just seems like either protesting doesn't work, or we're just quiet because we're still comfortable. But I don't understand, because with Taco Man, like Mayor Johnson over in Chicago and that governor of Illinois, so like we push back on Elon Musk and it stopped. I'm just confused with that. And then my second question was the FEMA. I filled out my application and I was ready to upload pictures in my denial letter, but it said pause. Someone would have to come look at your property. Is that what others are experiencing? upload their pictures.
You know what? So your phone is going in and out. So I'm kind of
I'm over the home bridge.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying. Okay, I'm piecing together what you said. I will put out that
FEMA.
Yep, I heard the piece about FEMA, and I've gotten people saying no, they were able just to fax over, their information. And I know in your case, you said you were trying to upload it, but what I
it didn't even give me the option. It just says stop. Someone has to come view your property, but I didn't have that where my structure was over. I don't know. So I was calling to find out if others were experiencing where they were saying stop. Someone had to come out.
So right now I haven't heard that, but let me do some asking around and see what else we can find out.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Hallelujah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Someone else is saying, nope, coming to inspect our property today. So I guess other people have said that, I guess maybe on terms of structural damage, even though you were saying you didn't have any, that they actually have somebody that is supposedly coming to inspect their property today. They never gave us an option to upload pictures. So that's somebody else that has said what this caller just said. And I just want to remind people, as we've learned many times before, my experience does not necessarily have to be your experience. So it's not just about faxing that denial letter. There are other people now this is the third person who has hit me up and said that they have been told when they were doing the process that their property was going to need to be inspected. So I don't know what that's about. I'll try to figure it out and see if we can ask some questions, and hopefully, people like the county executive's office, the city, the mayor's office, all the persons can have some contacts with the FEMA folks to understand, so people, know what to expect and what's happening. So that's a real question. In relationship to the pushback aspect that the caller referenced, I think you got a couple of things happening. Number one, some of this stuff is happening in a vacuum, and people haven't had the ability yet to see the real life impact of some of these decisions. Like we are just now beginning to see the fallout from Donald Trump firing all these federal workers. When we see the interest rates that have now been adjusted by the feds and or Federal Reserve, and understanding that it takes a minute for the reality of what's happening to catch up to our life. But we're now beginning to see that. This woman that got fired for the jobs numbers, and then the next report that comes out is worse than the report that happened on her watch. And so now you begin to talk about, okay, we're going to cut, interest rates by 0.5% or this or that. But the economy is in trouble, whether we fully appreciate it or not. So it takes a minute to catch up. The people that are out there on the streets beating the drum, I'm going to just tell y'all, there are people that now understand that, yep, I'm in the crosshairs. Donald Trump will publicly say my name, and people will be at my house. These people went in the home of a state lawmaker and shot and killed her and her husband. They went in the home of Nancy Pelosi and beat her husband in the head with a hammer. Let me just let's do this for a second and then call her. Here I come. Joy Reid, I'm not sure where she got it from, so I don't know who to give full credit for it, but this is what was posted by Joy Reid yesterday. As Donald Trump says that the left is the problem, we got extremists on our ends, we got killers. Elon Musk said Democrats are murderers, but this was put out. The man who targeted and killed Democratic State Representative Melissa Hortman was a Trump supporter. The man who targeted the home of Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro was a Trump supporter. The men who wanted to hang Mike Pence on January 6th, Trump supporters. The man who targeted and killed the son of Obama-appointed District Judge Esther Salas was a Trump supporter. The man who tried to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and assaulted her husband was a Trump supporter. The men who were convicted trying to kidnap Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and remember, wanted to bring him to Wisconsin, were Trump supporters. The man who sent pipe bombs to the homes of Obama and Biden was a Trump supporter. There is no equivalent or even similar list of Obama or Biden supporters who have carried out similar murders, attempted murders, and violent acts. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Michelle, morning.
Good morning.
I won't just say morning. I'm going to say happy Friday Eve because some of us do have a Friday to work too, but I know you probably work anyway, but I know you do what you do and you do what you do. But anyway, so I got to go here first. Monday, I talked to you and I was trying to, in a reasonable way, talk about lowering temperatures, all the above.
Right.
And then I did make a comment on the Utah governor. I wasn't agreeing with Jack, what he was saying. I was only agreeing with exiting the off-ramp, so I want the callers to understand that. So I want to recant my feeling on lowering the temperature. Why? Because we have came too damn far, black folks, to turn around now. First of all, we have been mangled and dragged through the mud, but yet and still we get up and keep kicking. Cory Booker, he did do a great job. I was so impressed. I was proud of that brother. Why? Because he even brought up Donald Trump and said, you are just, sticking your head where it shouldn't be. He didn't say it like that. That's what I'm saying, but I'm just making an example. But he going where he needs to go, and he was saying, and Donald Trump going to dump you too. So you need to, get your act together. And there was a few of those Congress folks or senators that did a reasonably good job. I mean, I can't take a lot away. Cory Booker, I'm going to be looking close at him because he might be a guy we need to look down the road. He speaks a good language and he don't bag off. And he told them, I'm not afraid of y'all and you. So, we got to start thinking about, it's going to be a tough 3 years. But my other point I wanted to make real brief with the Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel been slapping Trump upside the head in his monologues for years.
And right. He's been on the air over 20 years. Absolutely.
But where I lost Jimmy Kimmel at a little bit lately, he's been incorporating slavery in some of that crap too. And he been trying, I don't know who write his stuff, but he been doing it in a real nonchalant way. But just in the same sentence, on both sides, on the other side of your mouth, you talk about slavery and then try to get some laughs behind it. No, I'm kind of losing you a little bit, my man. And I'm not saying what happened to him should have. I'm not saying that I'm really overly concerned if another network picking him up, because I don't think so. But now, do that FCC folks, they handle all of the networks or just ABC? Can I ask that?
They handle everybody.
Oh, they handle everybody. Okay.
This station included. They handle everybody.
Okay. And so did we ever get the film? Because I can't find anywhere for that young man that lost his life in the middle of that campus. Did they ever produce any footage of anything that you know of?
Not at this time. So Ben Crump is now the attorney for the family, and they are calling for transparency in terms of the reports that the police are compiling. Their family has ordered their own autopsy, so that they can have their own person look at the body to be able to figure out what happened to this young man. So I think having Ben Crump on the case will certainly bring a level of hopeful transparency that we have. The family hasn't been able to get up until this point, because I said it yesterday, just telling somebody that I didn't see any outward signs of an attack does not mean that I still was not hung by somebody.
Absolutely.
It's just nonsense for them to have jumped out there so early and said something like that.
That was my train of thought too. Yeah. And lastly, I know you got other callers. Yesterday, I was surprised you didn't pick up on it, but when your favorite caller, I got that from that gentleman that called in yesterday. When your favorite caller called in yesterday was trying to help our community navigate through vote registration, how in West hell is some Republican going to come down and talk about what trying to help our community to do what we do, and he's a Republican bashing us every chance he gets? What kind of hypocrisy is that man living in? And one last scripture I'm gonna leave you with.
Okay.
And it's from Romans the 6th chapter, and the Apostle Paul brought this up. And there was those that was trying to compare Charlie Kirk to the Apostle Paul.
Right.
How foolish can you be? He's more of a Nicodemus. And if you look into Nicodemus a little bit, he would hang out with the Pharisees, scribes, and Sadducees. He was one of them leaders. But then again, he wanted to run over there by Jesus in the middle of the night and try to get some schooling from the Christ. So he was trying to. But Charlie Kirk was even deeper. He was worse. He was taking scriptures and trying to incorporate them and trying to tell other people, no, you wrong. I've been ordained since 1995, and I've been studying the Bible for 10 years, all of them. And I'm just trying. I would never tell nobody they wrong unless I put that Bible in front of me and find. You just don't do that if you are a trained minister. So I was wanting to say it, and I'll get going. Is that I don't know, hon. I got so much. I'm going to let you talk, babe. I'm going to get going. You have a good weekend, okay?
All right. Thank you. I appreciate the call, bro. All right now. Look, hey, get it off your chest. I understand when Al Sharpton them have that Exhale Monday, or, folks have different opportunities just for people to just call in and kind of run through things that, are bottled up right now. So I get it. Let me get this other caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Not as well as you sight unseen.
All right now.
I wanted to make a promulgation that I invented in the 10th grade. And it goes, I said this about Obama. Now I'm saying it about you. Despite the encumbering obstacles so prevalent in this situation, due to the overwhelming malfunction on the part of too many people in this operation, you is esteemed beyond imagination with your presentation. I'm gonna leave it at that. And like the other caller said, your favorite caller gets in and says, around the world, like your president, around the world, and come back to the wrong point. You have a good one.
All right. Appreciate it, Dr. Ward. So look, y'all, I just know that we don't get to take our foot off the gas right now. The one of the previous callers, she said, hey, where are we on fighting back? Where are we on protests? The point I, was making is that there are some people, everybody didn't show up for the March on Washington. Everybody didn't show up for the sit-ins at the lunch counters. People weighed what was happening. I just had to have a conversation with somebody yesterday. They were talking about some Facebook posts. And I said, you can't do what you used to do because of where you work. Now, let me coach that and say that differently. If you do what you used to doing, understand it may come with unintended consequences and or responses, because the federal government is bullying entities, companies, private and public, municipalities, threatening, what did I say yesterday, to take away any type of federal funding that they could from New York if Trump's unpreferred candidate is elected in terms of Mondani. You got the Attorney General Pam Bondi talking about they are looking at targeting hate speech following Kirk's assassination. Even though there have been Supreme Court rulings about what's protected speech in this country, but you got people who are blowing past precedent, who don't believe that the rules apply to them, that they are kings, queens, and the royal court. That's why it was so disgusting to see Donald Trump over with, the folks at the palace and the big pomp and circumstance, and he just standing there soaking it all in. Like in any way he was deserving of such a presentation. Like this man dreams for that kind of decadence in government and the visuals. Melania couldn't wait to rush and go get every custom outfit she could find to be the fashion diva. And I'm like, but Melania, you could serve this country so much better by opening your damn mouth and talking to your ignorant husband, as opposed to trying to, figure out how you can eventually get Vogue to make you the best dressed first lady. It's just nonsense. I remember the people that did not want to call Dr. Jill Biden Dr. Biden because it just offended them that this woman had completed her PhD and wasn't just arm candy, eye candy on some man's arm, but that actually was an intelligent and thinking individual. It irritated people that Michelle Obama was an attorney that actually helped to train the man who became the president. It irritates people. We find with the statuesque woman who we just want to talk about her outfits. So I'm going to switch gears, and I'm going to take this call, but I just need people to appreciate that we got a whole lot more pain coming our way, but how we respond and how we not just respond, but how we strategize to see what's coming down the road, because they've laid the playbook out. And we just needed to read it. And then after reading it, okay, what do we do? As we've said before, I am hopeful that there are meetings going on in the state of Wisconsin, that when Trump finally turns his ire in our direction by way of maybe National Guard deployments, what we're trying to do on the ground to combat crime. You got the silly Milwaukee Police Association president talking about we welcome this, we welcome that, usurping the authority of the mayor and the chief of police, because these two black men running these things, and damn what they talking about, we gonna just do it, I'm gonna say what I want to. We gotta understand that there has to be a proactive plan. We don't want to get caught with our pants down. We don't want to get caught slipping. And then every time we make a move, we're reacting versus we working the plan because we understood, because the blueprint is being laid in other cities. Memphis just looked so pitiful the other day when they just finally basically hung their head down and said, yeah, man, they coming. Yeah, we got to try to figure out how to survive it. Yeah. I mean, Muriel Bowser, started doing stuff that people was looking at her sideways like, Muriel, what are you saying? No, I want to thank them for coming in, and yeah, crime is down. And hey, you don't give up your freedom and your control like that. And that's what we got to do. We got to smack ourselves back into reality. You can't lay down. I appreciate the enslaved black folks who said, I'll be damned. if I'm going to continue to always live like this. No, this ain't for me, baby. This is not for me. And it's some folks, we just got to, Well, Harriet Tubman told her brother, I'll light you up like a Christmas tree if you do anything to jeopardize us getting up out of here and escaping and getting these people to freedom. Let me take a break. I'll be right back. So let me shift my attention for a moment to some local stories here in the mill. First of all, I got to talk about this case over in Chicago. I think I may have made reference to it, but didn't go into a lot of detail. But a young woman by the name of Ramika Meeks was dropping her child off at school. I think this was on September 8th. Let's see, was that like a Monday? She was dropping her child off at school. Yep. And she had just or had left her child's school, was about to leave the property, and she ends up getting into a verbal confrontation with the child's father, who she is no longer with, who is now with a new girlfriend, and they have a young child together. Okay. The father has his name is Carlos, and I'll pull up his name. But his name, I know the first name is Carlos. He has a restraining order against him for different attacks on this young sister, Ramika. But it seems like it's a lot of like drama and different things that have happened in the course of this relationship, but he has an active restraining order. In the middle of him and Ramika Meeks getting into this altercation on the school grounds, he puts her in a headlock. While she is in the headlock, his girlfriend, who is in the car with their young child, gets out of her car with a gun and comes over and shoots Ramika Meeks in the face, in the side, and in the leg. And then, with the coolness of a damn executioner, she walks over and says, I got my CCW, as if that excuses what just happened. This woman, her name that shot Ramika Meeks, her name is Khadijah Johnson. She is known as Holly Johnson. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that woman is from Milwaukee and evidently lives in Milwaukee, at least from what people are piecing together. So she was taken into custody. She stayed on the scene after the woman was shot in the way that she was. She was taken into custody. And at some point, the district attorney makes the decision to release her. From everything that I've been able to kind of garner so far, the ex-boyfriend of Ramika Weeks, who has her in a headlock and is not charged, even though you're not supposed to be near this woman, yet alone having her in a headlock, was not charged. And Khadijah Holly Johnson was let go. And the district attorney, the one who has replaced Kim Fox over in Chicago, who was supposed to be tough on crime and blah, 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 and is a sister. The district attorney's office makes the decision that they don't have enough sustained or substantiating evidence to move forward with charges at this time against Khadijah Holly Johnson. But I had some basic questions. When she yells out, I have my CCW, if she is in fact a resident of Wisconsin, your CCW is in Wisconsin, which means it's not any good in Illinois, which then means that you carried a firearm on interstate highways, which is now federal. You took a gun across state lines. The other thing that made me ask some questions is you can't have guns in Illinois in school zones unless you have a special designation. So you the police, you law enforcement, but there are some exceptions. But everyday Joe Blow cannot have a firearm in the school zone. So even if the district attorney's office feels like we don't have strong witnesses to what happened, you do have the ability to charge for other things. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because whatever was going on, it does not appear that the shooter was in any immediate harm when she decided to unload this gun on Ramika Meeks. And the fact that she shot her in the face. You shot her 3 times. This woman is not armed. She is not attacking you, according to what we've heard. But that you shot her in her face. That just seems so visceral and so personal. And there are, and her mother did an interview on VON in Chicago with my sorority sister, who has a show over in Chicago called the Cleopatra Show. You can go on their website, check out the video. And the mom talks about this was domestic violence between Carlos and her daughter. But there were people trying to obviously disparage Ramika, like, nah, she, did stuff and she came at him and blah, blah, blah. And then other people was like, look, Ramika defended herself. She fought back. And so either way it goes, that young lady should not be dead right now. And so you got to look at this man who, this is a messy situation. Why you bring the current child, you got mother, to the school where your former girlfriend and mother of your other child, you already know it's bad blood all the way around. Why do you have this woman at this school? Why are y'all there? But the fact that no charges were even leveled for having that gun, because I that's why I was asking people in Chicago, are y'all sure she's from Milwaukee and lives in Milwaukee? Because her CCW is not valid in Chicago. So they didn't even charge her for bringing the gun over into Illinois. Like, you didn't get charged yet with nothing. So our media has not picked up on this. They've not talked about this case because, again, I don't think a lot of people knew that this woman is supposed to, the shooter is supposed to be from Milwaukee. But I just think public service, we need to make sure people understand who's walking around amongst us. Because that was some cold stuff, the way some of this went down. And the Facebook posts of this young sister, Khadijah Holly Johnson, you talking about, I'm going to kill this bee. Like, it's just, and we've not covered it here. Just in general, this Black woman gets shot in her face on school grounds, and it doesn't make any news right next door. Jay, you want to say something? Like you want to say something?
No, I was going to say, this guy knew exactly what he was doing when he went up to the school. You got the new baby mama in the car with you. You go up to the school where your old baby mama is dropping your son off to school. He should be charged too, because why would you bring her up there? And I'm sure you know what she got on her, because if you with her, you see what she's carrying. You see what she has. I don't care what anybody say. If I'm dating somebody and we in the car and we've been hanging out, and especially if she's pregnant, I know what she has on her. I know if she has a gun on her, because that's just how it is. That's just how you operate. Before you to pull up to the school, get out and whatever words,
and then you jumping on the woman or whatever you doing. I'm just like, the whole thing is so raggedy, and the way that people, particularly some of these younger folks, the way they engage. But let me be clear, domestic violence has been around forever, but I'm like, fam, y'all ain't got no better restraint. But I just, like I said, I want to know if this woman is really from Wisconsin, because I just don't understand how you don't get charged even with a gun charge.
Yeah, carrying a gun across
state lines. I don't even understand any of that. So I just wanted to put that case out there. Like I said, it's not getting attention on our side, but it's blowing up in Chicago, obviously. And, you know, they looking at Milwaukee sideways. And I did have to remind them, now, look, now, we can do tit for tat. It's a whole bunch that came out of Chicago that's crazy over here.
Yeah.
Y'all need to be mad with y'all district attorney. And y'all need to be mad with this dude, in addition to being pissed off with this sister who killed this woman. Let me go to the phone line. Got some callers that's been on hold. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Sister Terminal V, Michelle, Bryant. Hey, this is Ray Mackis. I'm going to say something real.
Ray, turn that radio down.
Okay. Hey, that's bogus. Okay, hold on. Hey, man, what you just said, hey, that didn't make a lot of sense. For one thing, why would that woman go over to Illinois and her boyfriend, which is Amar, knowing this, and shoot this woman in the face? And then they don't be talking about black on black crime because they don't care about us. We need to be focused on our own people. And Sister Deborah Novi, Michelle Brown, you know you're going to say something real and you're going to keep it real. Assalamu alaikum to Meech. Meech, I got some shitness for you, boy. Peace out.
All right, bro.
Right back to your mouth.
Let me get this other caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you doing, bro? Turn your radio down for me if you got it up.
Okay. I was just want to talk about the...
you got us on speaker, fam? It's kind of hard to hear you.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the gun law.
Yes.
I think they got this thing called reciprocity.
We don't have it. I looked into
it.
No, we don't have that with Illinois.
Yeah, and then, it's a tragedy all the way around, and it's been a long simmering feud with that woman and this other woman. And when you do anything to somebody in their face, that's absolute hate.
Absolutely. That's personal. All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Nah, I think, we gotta understand, and then this is the thing. To be able to have that moment as the individual, like, people have not learned how to control their emotions and their impulses. And we're not doing a good job of teaching it either, because at no point does this sister, Khadijah Johnson, fall back and say, forget the criminal penalties for having done this, which right now she has escaped. But do you think that this dude is going to stay with you long term, as he got to look at his other child, who's a son, and understand that you killed that boy's mama, no matter his ignorance and his foolish and the restraining order? But do you really think that this man is going to stay with you? Because now he can't even bring his other child around, because that other child knows that you killed his mother. Like, if you was trying to do something to keep your man and salvage your relationship, ain't nobody getting ready to be bothered with you over time. This is, if you never get charged, this is going to eat away at any aspect of that relationship that you believe that you have. Like, how can I, even though I'm raggedy and I'm trifling, how can I actually lay up with you, understanding that you done killed the mother of my other child, who I actually was with first? Like, I'm just saying, y'all, we got to do better. While I'm talking about we got to do better, a lot of people have been following the death of the 11-year-old Deion Sargent, who was killed on Tuesday, on on the north side of Milwaukee. A 13-year-old child has been arrested in connection with the death of this 11-year-old. In a story in the Journal Sentinel, it says that the shooting came as a result of a robbery. The two children had what they called a tussle over a gun, which led to Sergeant being shot, said Mayor Cavalier Johnson at a news conference that was held. The shooting occurred around 6:45 p.m., 5500 block of North 68th Street. I'm just going to say, man, that Silver Spring area be so hot over there. It's been hot over there for years.
Fire. But it's
the residential,
but it got worse.
Yeah, I mean, like the residential, them little small houses up in there. I had like family members that stayed over there. Man, I would go over there and be like, man, I ain't gonna get shot messing around over here. It's so wild in that area. God knows, like whoever the alder person is for that area, like it need to be some serious targeting and some help that go on.
Yeah,
because that's a hot mess box over. In that area. So the shooting happens. And then so the mayor says the kids had a tussle over the gun. And in the article it says I'm trying to just make sure I'm reading this right. It happened near the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center. That organization gives out gun locks for free. He was critical of the parents of the children. The mayor was. Quote, there is no reason at all, zero, that a kid that young should get access to a gun in the city of Milwaukee. He said, this should not happen. It's entirely preventable. Sergeant was an MPS student, joins far too many other students who have died from gunfire. Remember, I talked about that they did this story in the Journal that said we have had enough children in Milwaukee killed in the past, I think, year in 2024 to fill an entire classroom. They reached out to Casilius to ask about him being a student at MPS. She ended up saying something like that parents and neighbors have to step up. This senseless, needless violence is not tolerable any longer. We're asking for help. Medical examiner identified the child as Sergeant after the shooting. He was declared dead at an area hospital. He becomes the 17th victim under the age of 18 to die by homicide in Milwaukee this year through September. 16-year-old was fatally shot on August 23rd in 33rd 100 block of North 12th Street. Last year, MPS had 23 students to die by gunfire. And through September 15th, Milwaukee has seen 104 homicides, which is a 7% increase from last year. We had 97 victims last year. So we have already outpaced where we were last year. What I'm not clear on is when they say it was, because in the beginning, it says it was about a robbery. And then that they tussled over the gun. So I'm trying to figure out, the shooting came as a result of a robbery. The police will refer criminal charges to the Milwaukee County DA's office. So were they saying that the 13-year-old tried to rob this 11-year-old or the gun?
Or either the 11-year-old had the gun, the 13-year-old tried to take it and tussling over it, he pulled the trigger.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure it out. It's just not real clear, at least from this story, what the tussle was about. And then they said tussle over the gun, or I should say like who had the gun originally, that kind of thing. But either way, two families have lost children because this little boy is gone. Most likely. And then obviously the child that, lost his life. Then I want to follow up real quickly. If I can, callers, I'm coming, but I do have to take a break. But I want to follow up quickly on the storage unit conversation that we had on yesterday. There have been some updates, not a ton, but some updates. that talked about what went on in, or let me just say, I won't even say what went on. Let me just say this. Hang on. Because I want to make sure I say it the way it was said. So there have not been charging decisions made, it looks like, yet regarding these young people. I'm sorry, the parents or the adults that were responsible for these young people, they are still in custody. But one of the latest stories that I saw reported, when they talk about going there, so they have said that the family was homeless. So people speculating about the circumstances. They confirmed the two adults are still in custody, man and a woman. They are the children's parents. And so, and I'm trying to figure out, like, were they there when the police arrived on that scene? And saying that the family was homeless. So is that going to factor into decisions about how these people get charged? So as we said, we figured yesterday that there are some extenuating circumstances. Nobody has yet talked about that the children shown any signs of actual physical abuse by way of, food or clothing or, maltreatment. So we're waiting to hear. So that's still, we still don't know a ton more, other than that they've confirmed that this family was homeless and they didn't just abusively lock these children up in that storage locker, as some may have suspected. So let me do this. I gotta take a break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV. Lord have mercy. We'll be right back, y'all. So let me take one quick second and acknowledge what was said during the news break about the young brother Isaiah Hand, who is down at Tuskegee University. So I hope that y'all caught that and the relevance and the significance of this moment. And this is something to share even with our young students as they are trying to figure out career paths for themselves. This is the first time in 80 years, nearly 80 years, that Tuskegee University has had someone to earn a private pilot's license. They restarted their aviation science program, and this young brother at the age of 20 has gone through the program, and this site where they train the Tuskegee Airmen, some of the baddest things moving during World War II. This young brother has done all the work, skipped summer vacation to complete this 12-week program. He is going to pursue other certifications, including commercial and multi-engine ratings, but he is an aviation science major doing the thing. But remember, Charlie Kirk said, if I get on a plane and I see a black pilot, I'm going to think to myself, boy, I hope he's qualified. Charlie Kirk, that's what he said. Just as a quick side note, in terms of the number of black pilots in this country, 3.6% to 3.9% of all pilots in 2023 in the United States were black. That translates to about 7,000 to 8,000 people that are black pilots out of 211,000 people. So when we see all these kids out here making foolish and silly decisions with their life, being able to put in front of them the opportunities that exist, it's just crazy what you could be doing. Set yourself up now for what you could be doing. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey,
good morning.
Yeah, I was listening to you, and earlier you were talking about out in D.C. The mayor out in D.C. You feel that she's caved because she extended extended her hand to the National Guards to try to get some things under control, and you said no way in the world I would have did it. I wouldn't have did nothing nothing like that. I'm not gonna cave to the master, none of that stuff. Well, listen, as I remember COVID came in. I remember COVID. You remember it as well. A lot of people said I wouldn't do this and ain't nobody gonna make me do this. The white man didn't threaten to whoop no Negroes. He didn't threaten to lynch no Negroes. He didn't even threaten to throw you in jail. He just said, don't come out on these streets, else I'm going to give you a fat ticket. And Negroes, especially the aristocrats and the extra smart Negroes, ran in the house and would not come out like a ghost town. And only through, up to this point I can see, that George Floyd was made a martyr in Minneapolis. Guess what? We would probably still be locked in, and we'd probably be in a worse condition. They would have really got a chance.
We would not, because the number of black people that were dying from COVID was real. In Milwaukee County, some of the very first black people to die from COVID were actually black people that folks in this community know very well. So because black people did not listen to a president who was telling them to drink bleach and doing other stupid stuff and decided that, hold on, because you want to make a point, let's play with it. And I'm not going to stay here long because I got to go. I know. Early today. It ain't no okay. Because black people decided to do what they needed to try to survive COVID, because we know that tens of thousands of people died from COVID or COVID-related issues. Don't get on the radio and disparage black people who use common. I'm not going to go back and forth. Do not get on turn it down. Turn it down. If you can't engage, then just hang up. But I'm not gonna go back and forth. Do not disparage Black people who took their health seriously and made decisions that would try to prevent them from dying. Don't do that. Because if COVID wasn't real and people weren't dying from it, we wouldn't have had to spend all the money that we spent on vaccines. We wouldn't have seen people in semi trucks that were refrigerated with bodies stacking up because of what was going on. So the COVID argument for me is done. And the fact that people are still being silly about it, I don't have the patience for it. So, bro, I'm gonna have to let you go. I appreciate the call this morning.
Goodbye.
Let me go to my next caller. Thank you. But no, we ain't gonna keep reliving that nonsense. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Oh, God bless you. Oh, God bless you. Woo, thank you, Jesus. I got this call in. First, Michelle, I was thinking about your feelings this morning, especially with the death of so many young Black students. Our children should not be having guns at their access. What happened to basketball, after school programs, grandma stepping out? I mean, we have got to do something. I cannot say, I want the mayors to do something. We've got children in storage units. The whole week, my heart has been heavy, and yours too. I can feel your pain, my sister. This is Annette. You know who I am, and I feel it. All my grandkids are in California, but I still have grandkids in Milwaukee. When I go in the Walgreens, like I tell you, I am talking to the mothers. I am going to continue to do that because I want to reach to the lady next door. The young ladies are walking on Capitol Drive. It doesn't matter because they have things on their mind too. How can I do this? Where can I go here? I learned this. They don't know about your show, Michelle. You would be surprised. Do you listen to 860? There's so much information that you could get from that show. And they don't even know you. Some of them don't even listen to you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like that, though. You know, we're still trying to educate people about what's out here.
Absolutely.
But people are so caught up in the day-to-day. Yeah, they don't know that there are things that are out here that can help them. Yes, ma'am.
I love you so much. And I just wanted you to know that my heart is with you. Thank you for doing what you do. And this radio station, it ain't going nowhere. You covered. I love y'all. With the love of Jesus Christ, where all blessings flow.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Let me address real quick the comment that was made by Meech when he called about my position on Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., to some extent being seen as somebody that was caving. What D.C. is concerned about, D.C. council members are concerned about, is the level of autonomy that they have as a city to be able to direct what happens in their city. So when you had Trump administration officials coming in talking about we taking over the police department, they now report to us. We're doing this and we're doing that. It was about that these people are right when they say that they pay taxes, but they have no voting power in Congress. What they have on the back of their license plates as a reminder every day that this is a city that is taxed without representation, and that this is the only place in America where Donald Trump could exercise some of the stuff that he did in relationship to the National Guard. And so it's not Michelle's opinion only that Muriel Bowser did some things that caused people to question her strategy. It was her own common council members that also did that. I want to also mention real quick before I get off the air, there was a situation as Donald Trump was flying on yesterday to go, and sit at the table and be treated like he's actually some, real leader. Spirit Airlines, flight 1300. I don't know if these people was ever in danger of being shot down, but air traffic controllers were trying to get the attention of the pilot on Spirit Airlines who said that they were flying too close to Air Force One. Now, this flight was traveling from Fort Lauderdale to Boston, as Air Force One was carrying Trump and Melania Trump and others on their way to the United Kingdom, to the UK. And so the controller says, quote, Spirit 1300, 20 degrees right. Pay attention, Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right. Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right now. Spirit wings 1300, turn 20 degrees right immediately. And so the Spirit airline pilot acknowledges what the controller is saying. And because they were literally flying parallel to Air Force One, only 8 miles apart. And so, you too close to Air Force One. Nobody's supposed to be able to fly that close to Air Force One. So when the folks from Spirit Airlines say, okay, we got you, the controller still on 10. Pay attention, Spirit 1300, traffic off your left wing by 6 or 8 miles. 747. I'm sure you can see who it is. Keep an eye out for him. He's white and blue. Letting them know, y'all next to Air Force One, bruh. And y'all 6 to 7 miles away from this plane. And so, of course, Spirit puts out a statement saying, hey, we take safety seriously. Like the air controller literally told the Spirit team, pay attention, get off the iPad. I don't know if the pilots was looking at an iPad. I don't know how you don't realize that you 8 miles away from Air Force One, but that was a whole situation. And this is the thing, though. Controllers who were saying all of this, one of the things that they said is it was spotted by an aviation tracker on social media first. So I just wanted to say, y'all don't know what could have happened, but that could have went real wrong for the people on that plane. Had this pilot not eventually acknowledged what they were being told. It could have went real wrong. All right, family, that's the show for this week. Let me say this as I close out. Where is it? I was asking about churches and what people are doing, and people reached out to me. So here is one thing that I got. Christ the King Baptist Church, over off of 7750 North 60th Street, is inviting the entire community to come back to the church this Sunday, September 21st, 9 a.m. service. They're going to have food trucks, barbecue, desserts, giving, snow cones and stuff out, stuff for kids, bounce houses. And they are trying to invite the community into service. It's called Hope in the Neighborhood. So just so somebody sent it, like you was asking, Michelle, this is something that we're trying to do to reconnect with our communities. And I'm going to make it my business to get over by the church on Sunday. Is that Sunday? Yeah. Sunday. And see these folks. Debo, Jermaine, thank y'all for starting off the day in a way that clearly a lot of people needed and it resonated. It's appreciated. And I will talk. Let them, what'd you say? Let them use you?
Let him use you.
All right.
There you go. That's all he needed, a little motivation. Look at it.
Family, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
All right.